While I slept, Riot dropped an absolute nuke in probably the biggest reversal of a decision they've ever made, because it impacted literally everyone. Alongside this 4-minute video, a new dev blog was released addressing Hextech chests, getting champions, and more. We're quickly going to jot down here what was said in the video before we break it down with the details from the actual dev blog. So the video starts with a standard "missed the mark" apology, and this was almost weird because they say that exact sentence multiple times across the video and the blog.
Recently, we've made a number of changes that didn't hit the mark, and that led us to make changes that missed the mark.
What mark were we trying to hit here with just taking free stuff away from the players? Hitting the mark would have assumedly meant that with shipping these changes, there was a desired outcome for the players. Taking chests away was only in interest of revenue flow with absolutely no compensation. But I digress. In Act 2, that rolls out next week, players will have the ability to earn 10 chests and keys in total per act, with 8 being spread throughout the free pass and 2 being tied to high honor tiers, which I actually quite like. In the short term, while Riot works on the new honor system, the other 2 chests will be awarded through missions. Probama also added on Twitter that previously Mastery led to 52 chests a year, whereas the new chest acquisition model leads to around 60 chests a year. A key detail in recognizing that this is actually on par with how we used to receive chests. Oh, and also if you recently bought a champion in patch 25.4, Medler says that you can hit up player support for the 50% off. But what still doesn't make sense to me is how do we go from 52 chests a year makes us broke to, 60 chests a year? No worries, you guys can have that. Something about not sustainable. They also disclose that earning chests is through the pass instead of through champion mastery to ensure that you are rewarded playing modes with random champion selection or free choice, which again, I really like. Being a person that only plays around 5 champions or so, I had no chests and hundreds of keys. They also say that the new ones we get through the pass and honor systems are the exact same ones we used to get through champion mastery. Next, they address a pretty new issue, which is champion acquisition. When I was coming up in the earlier seasons, I started playing around the end of season 3, champion acquisition was actually pretty easy. I don't ever remember having a problem or feeling like champions were out of reach, but with the recent blue essence changes, that obviously isn't the case anymore. And so they announced that champions moving forward will be 50% off their current price as of next patch. Blue Essence will stay the same though. Third, the new exalted Sahn Uzal Mordekaiser skin is being delayed for further polish, which I am so happy to hear. I really don't think people mind spending money on skins if they can really see and feel that it's a high quality product made with care. It almost makes the purchase feel dirty if you know you're just buying into a cash grab. Next, clash frequency will be retained as it often leads to a, quote, pure form of League of Legends gameplay, as Riot put it, and I agree. Then lastly, your shop and the Blue Essence Emporium will be returning. Your shop in 25.6 and Emporium in 25.7. Now for a few important details from the blog you'd probably like to know about and also probably didn't read. Firstly, this is the drop rates for the returning chests. In each Hextech chest, you have a 50% chance for a skin shard, 25% for a champion shard, 10% for an emote permanent, 11.5% for a ward skin shard and 150 bonus orange essence, and 3.5% for a summoner icon permanent and 150 bonus orange essence as well. At the bottom, it says bonus drops, which I assume are just other things that you can obtain through the chests. 3.6% for 10 mythic essence and 10% for another chest and key. They also say below this, and this is actually a pretty big one to just tack at the bottom, quote, we'll be making the promotional placement of exalted skins less intrusive within the client based on your feedback. Meaning less skin ads popping up before and after the game and when you're loading into the client and everywhere else that they put them. Next is this table for the battle pass that's been updated. It's a lot, so I'm just going to have it scrolled down the video and you can pause if you'd like to, but it looks a lot better than it did before skimming over it. Something I was thinking of when I saw these changes initially is how bad they almost purposely seemed. Is it strategic that Riot shoots themselves, or the players in this case, in the foot before swooping in to save the day? Like, no publicity is bad publicity, right? Or in this case, advertisement. It is an odd model if this is actually what's happening though, because it's just Riot reinforcing to the players that, hey, if you bully us, we'll probably listen and make the changes you want, which further pushes the amount of backlash they just received. But this was all in the nick of time because I was seeing petitions going around to remove Jadeja as Riot CEO. Obviously, even if this petition reached its signature goal, it wouldn't do anything, but it's still insane to see how passionate people are about the changes Riot make. There was not, however, any mention of the Shyvana VGU that won the VGU update poll almost 3 years ago. The only info I could find on that was this from Medler, saying it probably won't be originally in 2025, and then this from Reeve in January saying that they have restarted working on her, but it'll be released in a season that fits her, which makes a lot more sense now that all the seasons, or acts, or whatever they're called, are themed. This is likely because one of the other Noxian champions, probably Vlad or LeBlanc that were in the cinematic, will be receiving the updates to match the cinematic appearance. Now, this is all kinda a step in the right direction. I mean, kinda because we never should have taken a step backwards in the first place. We're just stepping forward back to where we were before. But I am going to round out this video with a couple of responses from Dantes that I have to say I agree with, and we as a community shouldn't overlook them. Firstly, in response to Pabro himself, one of the presenters in the video. Pabro says, "Hey everyone, sorry for taking so long to reply. Just because we are quiet doesn't mean we aren't reading, listening and reflecting. Looking forward to making League better with you all." To which Dantes says, "I know I've been extremely critical of Riot recently, but I just want you to know the community doesn't dislike you or Meddler. The problem is, it's just with Riot's upper management and CEO, which I'm sure we all agree with. The fact that they make you guys the faces of all their bad decisions is sad considering how much unwarranted hate you get. But I just hope that both of you know that for myself, and what I assume is the majority of League of Legends players, we understand that it's not the Rioters themselves that are at fault." And then another tweet in response to the same thing. "This isn't the win you think it is. Yes, a lot of the changes are great. Chess coming back? Great. Champion BE cost reduced? Amazing. Skins having higher quality? Kudos. But what about all the lies?" And this part here is kind of the reason I included this response, because I agree wholeheartedly. Chests were supposed to be unsustainable. How can we just afford to bring them back? And in this case, actually give us more. Clash was client breaking. How can we have double the planned amount of clashes over the next year now? And this is actually a really big one that they didn't even touch on in the video, other than actually saying that Your Shop and Essence Emporium were coming back. There was never even an announcement for the removal of Your Shop and the Essence Emporium. You just silently got rid of them and brought them back. The problem here is that the upper management of Riot consistently lies to its player base and misleads them over the last couple of years now, and has shown time and time again that it wants nothing more than to maximize profits at the cost of player experience. This is merely a band-aid solution to a wounded mentality towards its player base. We expect way more, which we do. This is one of, if not the biggest game company in the world right now. They are industry leaders in more ways than just the game League of Legends itself. But anyway, that's about all for today. I don't really have much more to say, but I am very grateful, thankful, and hopeful that Riot continues listening to the community. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye.